So, the last devlog got like really popular. Like, I mean, it nearly got 7k views. Like, what the f? Firstly, thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. But still, what the f, guys? This also meant that I got a lot of suggestions, so I'm gonna be implementing those today. But the most common comment I got was from all you German people out there, hello from me, who said Jude means Jew. But like, how the hell was I meant to know that? It's not what I was going for, and it's not what I meant. I'm not German. Like, I don't know what it means in German. But anyway, just kidding. In all honesty, I didn't know what Jude meant in German, so I'm sticking with Jude because it's actually a name in English. I'm probably American as well, and the project is going to be called Project Jude, so I'm sticking with it, and there is no going back. Now, let's actually get into the development for today. So, to start, I was recommended to use Mixamo for the models and animations, so I checked out the site, and it was pretty epic. It has some awesome animations and characters, so I browsed it and found a character. His name is David, but we don't need David, so we're going to basically use him out the window once again, and we're going to name him Jude now. So, this is Jude, not David. And then I realized that I'm dumb because I don't know how to import these models into Unity. So I literally had to watch 20 minutes worth of tutorials to see how to import it in properly, because for some reason I am so incapable of literally just importing a model. Even then, when I added it, the color was like off and the hair and the eyelashes just looked I mean, like, what the f is this? It's literally a potato. Now, I couldn't fix this, but once again, I am dumb, so we understand that I can't fix things properly. It doesn't matter though, because I am going to learn to model when I have the effort for it, and I'm going to make my own character. So this is just a temporary thing. So this is David, his name is also Jude, and he's a potato. So that's what we're using for now. Also, I felt like I need to share this. Never, and I mean never, open Mixamo textures, because you find some freaking disturbing things. I mean, just look at this. Just ew. I don't even want to look at this. It's literally my paralysis demon. Just please go away. So many people told me that apparently the animations that I had, which by the way I found online and mixed them with a different rig system, well anyways, it was by Invector. It doesn't really matter though, because I went on Mixamo and started to replace the majority of the animations. In fact, I only replaced the roll animation for the time being, but either way, it was replaced. I also decided to look up Invector because many people said they have an epic third-person template sort of thing, so I checked it out and it looked awesome. So I decided to download it, and I'll be using some of the stuff for the time being, and probably in the future as well, because it's genuinely really awesome. Link in the description. Then I realized that their template had a block system, so I decided to take that block system and implement it on my character. So I went ahead and slapped it on my character, and it was working fine. However, I didn't really like the animation, so I decided to go on Mixamo again, found a block animation, replaced it, and now we have this awesome kind of blocking system kind of thing, if you get what I mean. Oh, and also, this is what the new roll looks like. I think it just looks a lot cleaner and nicer and cooler and better, so yeah. Then, genuinely, without fail, my Unity crashed like 5 times at least. I lost some of my work, but managed to save some. It was all kind of a mess. So basically, I spent like 3 hours trying to recover everything. I managed to do it to a pretty good extent, so yeah. Then I decided to actually use Invector for my player, because their system is actually pretty good, and I've been kind of playing around with it for the past week, and I really like it. It's also kept up to date very frequently, so I'm going to be using it from now on. Don't worry though, I will kind of be changing quite a lot of things from it, because I'm not a fan of everything, and I don't like the way that everything works. It's just an easy way to develop third-person games in Unity, especially as someone who's not so good at Unity as me. Also, it's pretty good considering this isn't going to be like a massive project that I'm working on. It's just a little side project that I'm working on, so it's pretty good because it just saves some time. Anyways, it took a while because I didn't exactly want to delete my character and start from scratch. I kind of just had to like copy a bunch of things here and there because I wanted to keep things the same, because you know, I just spent so much time on this character, I didn't want to throw him away. So I finally managed to do it, and he is now using the Invector system, so that's good. This also meant that I couldn't use Danny's movement anymore. So sorry Danny, your movement was very useful and helped out a lot, but we're going to be moving from that now. But everything looks fine apart from a few little things where I can like punch the air and attack while jumping, and it's kind of a mess. So I will try and fix it. Yes, I haven't managed to do this in this particular video, but hopefully I will for the next couple videos have that fixed, because it's kind of a big issue, but I don't know how to fix it just yet. The next things I wanted to work on was some special abilities. So as you know, this game is about harvesting powers from the environment, and that's sort of your way of fighting with these all cool sort of awesome powers. Similar to Infamous Second Son and kind of like Avatar The Last Airbender. And in fact, I did this with quite ease, and it was done in a really easy way. So I started by downloading a Mixamo animation pack for like magic animations. I can't really remember the name, but there'll be a link in the description. Then I also needed some particles, so I downloaded the Unity Basic Particle Pack, which there is also a link in the description below, because I will be creating some of my own particles, but this particle pack is really awesome, it's free, and yeah, so it's Unity, so it's quite cool, so go get it. So even though I had these two, I needed to create some states. And thankfully, because I switched to the Invector system, it allowed me to do this relatively quickly with no issues. So first I had to convert all the animations to humanoid. This is because Invector uses humanoid and it has to be the same because otherwise it doesn't work and it's all kind of complicated and it kind of messes stuff up. So just change it to humanoid if you're doing this as well. I then had to play around with the animations because they were a little bit weird. And what I mean by that is that the feet didn't really animate properly and they kind of like twisted and it was just a really big mess. So I had to do that. But once again, that was done with ease. Didn't take too long. It was really quick fix. Then came creating the states. So I used the inbuilt Invector generic animation, which was actually on my player, and I linked it to an input key. So for my case, it's just like 1, 2, 3, and 4 because that's the different abilities. And then I created some animation states in the Unity animator. All of these animations are also activated by a trigger, which was also made in the Unity animator, and that was really quick. And basically, those are then activated from the generic animation on the player. So pretty cool, pretty easy. Then I used some particles, which I added to the player and set to be activated upon the animation. I also ensured to match them with the animation so they play when the player actually does the action and not just constantly. I also made sure that they don't play on awake and they're not looping, and kind of played around with the size, the emitting stuff, and the velocity, the speed and whatnot. Basically just played around with it till it looked nice. Then I also had to link the particles to the generic animation and the generic action, and boom, we have some cool epic looking abilities. And also, final thing, I decided to turn collisions on for the animations. This is because when I'm going to be adding AI, which I will be adding this video actually, I want them to actually damage the AI, so they have to have a collision so we know that they're colliding with the enemy and whatnot. But I know it sounds complicated. If you guys want, I can make a tutorial because it's actually really simple. I'm kind of complicating it by explaining it. But let's have a look at these awesome animations. Okay, so we are in the game and I'm going to show you the animations that I have done. So you can go ahead and press number 2 and I will create this sort of like flame coming out of their hands. I think it's really awesome and it works really well with the animation. You have it from the front, and this will do damage to enemies and to anything because it's got the collision thing that I talked about earlier. The third ability is you can press the third key on your keyboard. This will basically create these rocks that come out of the ground, which I think is really awesome. So once again, let me show you this again. He will basically bring up rocks from the ground. Once again, do damage to enemies with the collision thing. Finally, we have the fourth key. So you can basically press 4 and he will create this sort of explosion around him, which also does damage. Even the particles itself, like the little particles that jump off, if it lands on you, it will do a slight little bit of damage. Now, for this particular one, I went ahead and made sure that the closer you are, the more damage you take. The further you are to the explosion, the less damage you take. This is so that it's kind of fair, so that if you're far away but you still get hit, you don't take as much damage. So yeah, these are the animations that I have added so far. So the next thing I decided to add was some UI. I started by creating a canvas and made an HP bar. This is controlled by the player health and will decrease whenever the player is hit. This bar will also replenish automatically as the player just waits around. I also added an additional bar that controls your ability power. So this bar will decrease whenever you use your abilities. That's the whole main point of the game. This was originally linked to the Invector stamina, but I decided to change that and actually create my own variable called ability power. I then also decided to completely remove stamina because I don't want to punish users from running or sprinting. Currently this bar only works for primary attacks, but still it doesn't have any particles at the moment, so it looks a bit off, but I will add them in the next video. But as you can see, they will decrease whenever you use your abilities, in this case the primary attacks. It also replenishes at a speed of 0.001 to encourage the player to harvest the powers from the environment and not just from replenishing it automatically. Also, I'd like to quickly mention that all the models for this game I'm going to be making myself. I'll be making those in Blender, but I still need to learn how to use Blender properly because I'm not really good with Blender. Not gonna lie, I can create some simple kind of rigs and models, mainly Minecraft stuff, but that's not what I need. Anyway, I can create probably like a basic sword or something, but I'm gonna be learning Blender along the way and amongst these videos to basically create models here and there to make them look nicer and make them my own kind of unique thing. So if you guys have any videos or courses that you recommend for learning how to model and create your own sort of sculptures and models in Blender, go ahead and tell me them down below because I would really appreciate to have a look at some of them. So the final thing I added today was a built-in Invector AI. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of this Invector AI, so this is just a temporary thing until the next video where I'm gonna be working and improving this AI and kind of making it better, and generally speaking, kind of just redoing it completely. Basically, as you can see, I can use my abilities, which I showed previously, to damage this punk. As you can see, he can take damage, and basically, eventually, he will die because he's taken too much damage, and it's pretty cool, it works quite nice, and it's really awesome. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you for the support on the recent one. I really appreciate it, and the support is just amazing. Also, make sure to subscribe and slap a like. Let's try and aim for 69 likes. Love you all, guys, and bye.